it's Aya, and today I'm going to draw out my life in this Draw My Life video, just like all the big YouTubers did back in 2013. Just like my desk you see here, there's lots to talk about, so let's go! I'm 5'4" and I'm about to graduate high school. I actually just turned 18 a couple weeks ago. But don't worry, just as Walt Disney said, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. My story begins on May 9th, 1999 in São Paulo, Brazil, where I was born. I was born in Brazil, but I'm also a Japanese descendant, meaning that my great-grandparents came from Japan. Coincidentally, that year was also Mother's Day, so it was a pretty fun present for my mom, I hope. My full name is Beatriz Aya Sato, where Beatriz is my Portuguese name and is Latin for she who brings others happiness, while Aya is my Japanese name and appropriately means design, art, or beautiful in Japanese. And here we have some pictures from when I was little. The one on the right is from my first birthday. My parents were also fans of Ichi Riteru no Namida, or One Litter of Tears, which is the true story of 15-year-old Ayakito, who had spinocerebellar degeneration, but kept living life to the fullest until the very end. Oh, want to know something really quirky about me? I have a bifid uvula, where the uvula is split into two, so it looks like a W. Apparently this only happens to 2% of the population. Anyways, back to my story in Brazil, which is actually spelled with an S if you're living there. It's the little things that we miss the most. Similar to France, most neighborhoods have a local bakery where the bakers make bread every morning. We would wake up and my dad would just walk up to the street to bring some freshly baked French bread. I really miss that. There are also other pastries like pão de queijo, which is a cheese-filled bread. Oh, and the soda. We have our own national soda called Guaraná. I grew up going to private school. I actually started pretty early, when I was 3. Our family really values education. I went to Pueridomus and Petrópolis. It was really nice and nationally recognized school and had lots of technology for us to play around with. We had a lot of other privileges like swimming classes, taekwondo, and ballet. Here's when I got awarded some books for being the student who checked out the most books that month. Always been a nerd, I guess. I'm very thankful to have gotten the chance to travel a lot. I went to Japan when I was very little, so I don't remember anything, but I hope to go back someday. I really love going on airplanes and eating off the little trays. Traveling is a big passion of mine because I love learning about new cultures. So far I've been to Japan, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, and of course now the US. In 2006, my dad got the opportunity to move to the US office of the company that he works at, Teleadopt. And I thought we were just gonna move houses or maybe a new neighborhood, but I didn't realize it was a whole other country. And so it was time for us to improve on our English skills. I had English class at school, but it just wasn't enough. I would practice with Phantom of the Opera, which I really love, and I would practice singing the songs even though I didn't know what they were talking about, but I would just copy the way that they would say it, and I really loved those songs, so it was fun. My mom and I would also take some separate English classes at a school nearby our house where they would have these cassettes. Yeah, it was a really long time ago. And they had Disney VHSs available for checkout where I would just take them and listen to them in English and practice how to say everything. And I would listen to those songs over and over and I said, I actually understand these things that I'm repeating in English. And so my dad moved to the US first, while my mom and I packed and sold whatever was left in our house and prepared to move too. It was my first time spending so long without my dad around. Even though it was only a month, it felt a lot longer. It was really sad seeing the house get so empty too. Even to this day, I clearly remember the day that we sold the TV. It was a really bulky, big TV. Because this was in the 2000s, I was glued to this screen because I was watching Meninas Superpoderosas, or as they're known here, the Powerpuff Girls. My mom hadn't told me that someone was taking the TV while Powerpuff was on. Now what was I supposed to do? Soon afterwards, it was time to go. My mom cried when she locked up our house for the last time. My mom and I headed to the airport along with our whole family. Everyone was there. As we walked behind the walls of TSA checks, we cried and waved goodbye. It takes so long to get from Brazil to the US, but it was all very confusing because my mom and I didn't know almost any English, so it was hard to know where we were and where we were supposed to go. But there were some really nice people, like this old man here who helped us along the way to find our tram to go to the next flight. And like a miracle, we made it. We made it to the US, and we were so relieved, and I ran to my dad because I hadn't seen him for so long, and our family was finally reunited in the US. And then when my dad picked us up at San Francisco, we drove all the way to Reno, Nevada, and Sparks, Nevada, where we had our first little apartment in Park Vista. It's by Wild Island, if you guys have seen that. And here I am posing with my Barbie doll, the same outfit. And we didn't have furniture at all in this apartment for the first couple of weeks. So we used the cardboard boxes to use as tables and stuff. It was fun. I find this really funny and cute. And we also took the bus everywhere to go to church. And then, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Since everything was so new, everything was really exciting, and we loved watching and seeing everything around town. And the first week we went to church at Sparks United Methodist Church, which my dad found, and everyone was really welcoming, and we really loved it. And this was the first time that we saw snow too, since it's so hot in Brazil, it doesn't snow. So it was really exciting to touch snow for the first time. And of course we had to do all the touristy things like go to Disneyland and Universal Studios. And that was the first time that I went to Disneyland, and I was in amazement at all the magic. Soon it was time to start school. I went to Marvin Moss Elementary School for 2nd grade after I skipped 1st grade. The first day of school at an American school, I was both excited and extremely nervous for this. I was really excited for the school bus, which we only saw in the movie, so it was really exciting when we saw the yellow bus come in to pick me up and send me off to school. But I didn't have any friends, I didn't really know the language, and I didn't even know what to do in an all-new country. I even carried around a little translation dictionary, and my mom was always concerned about my health, and so she sent traditional Japanese bento for my lunch, which is onigiri, rice balls, and some vegetables. I knew it was a really healthy lunch, and I loved my mom's cooking, but there was a lot of kids that made fun of me for what I brought for lunch. They would say my food was gross and that I didn't belong, and it was really hard. I was made fun of for my accent too. Sometimes I would say tree instead of three, or birthday, and people were just really mean to me, and I felt really out of place and sad. I was really sad when one time my lunchbox was put in the trash, and I didn't understand why someone would do something like that. Later on, I moved to Spanish Springs Elementary School because we had just bought a new house, and luckily I made some new friends. These were some of the girls that lived in my neighborhood that went to the same school that I did. And here are some pictures of my very first friend in America. She's Mexican, and since Portuguese is very similar to Spanish, I would speak in Portuguese and she would try to understand me. And then in 2007, my baby brother was born, Samuel Katsuhiro Sato. I'm still really happy that I got a brother because we always play around and he makes me laugh so much. Although he gets on my nerves just like any sibling does, he's really cute, and I'm really grateful to have him to play around with all the time, or else I would have been really lonely as a child. And so our family grew to 4 people. And then I started middle school at Shaw Middle School, and suddenly everyone had like their own cliques and groups, and I didn't know where I belonged. Of course, I had my friends from elementary school and I made some new friends, but I still felt like that little alien that didn't know what to do. I questioned if anybody wanted to be my friend at all. It was at this time that I started being really obsessed over other artists and cartoons, and I was really into Tim Burton. I went to his LACMA museum, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. I got really into anime and manga because of my culture in Japan, and all of these artists helped me see that uniqueness is good, and I shouldn't be scared or nervous about who I am. I loved Tim Burton so much that for the sixth grade talent show, I gathered up all my friends and I made an Alice in Wonderland play because that was my favorite movie at the time. I got really emotionally invested in Disney movies too because they taught me that throughout all the hardships in life, everything will eventually always work out in the end. Some say that I'm childish, but who cares? I love the Disney princesses because they teach me that with love and perseverance, my dreams can come true too. And now we look to the future. I'm about to graduate high school in a couple of weeks. That's so hard to believe, but soon I'll start college and I don't have everything planned out. But I know that following what makes me happy will bring me to the right path. And I think it's okay to not have everything figured out yet. We're like a little Rubik's Cube. Hey, Mrs. Bowers, I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything that you've done the past 2 years for me, for making me so passionate about learning and analysis, and I love nerding out through your essays. So throughout all these years, there's been a lot that's been done, but there's a lot of empty pages left in my notebook, and they're ready to be filled with more adventures.